taking a certification from the Microsoft. We have seen like we have a portal available. With the help of that, we can able to select the right certification for us. So I have shared a link also where you can able to pick the certificates. Now, in case if you want to go for learning a Microsoft document, so this is the another link always you can follow or you can bookmark it. This is called Microsoft Learning Portal right now, which you are pasted on the right side. This is giving a complete summary about the different modules it's been available on the Microsoft. So like if you're interested to start some training course or it's been the program or handout if you're looking on a Microsoft Azure. So this is the link you can refer it. Now, as I said yesterday, or the Microsoft Learning or a material it's been available in the Microsoft the portal itself. You don't need to pay anything for that. It's been like if I'm a user, if I'm a if I'm a learner, I need to start some study on a Microsoft Azure. You can just select go to Azure and you can select the module. You can able to see these are the learning module it's been available for you. Now I'm an Azure administrator. I need to learn. I don't want to learn everything. I just want to learn only about Microsoft Azure Active Directory domain. So these are the chapters or these are the modules available for you. So you can just go through all this module and you can start learning yourself. Like you don't need to purchase any document or you don't need to go for any e-learning portal because by default Microsoft is provided all the link for you. So you can able to use this Microsoft Learn portal. This is having a summary of all the lessons or modules which will useful for clearing the certifications, which will be useful for doing a self-learning. Now let me share the another screen. Now this is the another Microsoft document page. It's called Azure documentation. It's called Microsoft documentation page. So you can able to see it's on the right side. So this will give you the latest information about the latest products or whatever the tools it's been available from the Microsoft and features also. So you can able to see all the latest product available from the Microsoft. If you're clicking here, you can able to see like all the products available from the Microsoft. You can able to see here. You can able to see the all the Microsoft Azure documentation one. So you can able to see like the you're getting information about app service or a Cosmo DB or it's been the Kubernetes or the all the details you will be able to get here like all the details about the virtual desktop or a Linux machine or a Windows virtual machine. All the details you will be able to get it from here. So this is the information you will be able to get it from here. So this is the link you can bookmark it. So this will give you the complete information about the Azure documentation. Now let me give you another. You can able to see the next tool. Just give me a second. 1 second. So I was creating another account for you. Now this is the another link available from Microsoft. So this link you can use like you created an account on the Microsoft. This is a TechNet forum. For example, like you started working on a Microsoft Azure and you started facing some issue with the Microsoft virtual machine or a storage or a pricing or a billing or any other resources available on the Microsoft. So this is the forum or this is a link or this is a TechNet forum you can able to use for posting your doubt. So this is the link you can able to use it for handy in case if you are facing any kind of a technical issues on a Microsoft. So you can post your threads here. For example, like you started working on a Microsoft Azure and you facing some issue with the virtual machine. For example, like your virtual machine, you are not able to start or you are not able to configure any kind of availability or in some X or Y kind of options. Now, in a generally, you can able to take Microsoft technical support plan. With the help of that, based on your plan, you will maybe getting a technical support from the Microsoft. But there are some situation like if you don't, you're using a free account or your account support plan is not allowing you to create a ticket in the Microsoft. Generally, most of us know like if you want to create any ticket on the Microsoft, it's a paid service. Like you have a different support plan is been available. Based on that, it's been allowing to create a support plans. Now, in case in the support plan is not allowing, or if you want to get some kind of a technical support, then you can go for the technical forum. So this is a link you can use. Right now it's asking for a signing because if you want to use this technet forum, it ensure that you need to have a valid login ID and password because you need to have an account. So then only you will be able to post the questions or you will be able to post the thread on the Microsoft technet forum. So this is the option you can use it. So this is the forum is very active and you can search your thread based on the specific areas of your industry. For example, like you're working on a storage or a networking, based on the category, you will be able to post the question and you will be able to find out the informations related to the daily operation issues or it's the common issues which you're facing on a Microsoft Azure. Now, this is the another link which I'm posting on the chat. So in case if you have any issues or it's you have any questions related to virtual machines, you can connect with the Corey. Corey is the Corey Anderson. So it's Anderson. So you can able to connect with the Corey. So you can able to post any questions related to website or a mobility servers, mobility services or a dev test or a virtual machine. You can follow this Tuesday with the Corey program. So you can able to see there is a available result which happened, the event happened in the past. That details you will be able to put it from here. So you can able to see based on the GitHub or the Azure, you will be able to search it. Now, if you want, you can connect with on Azure Friday also. So Azure Friday is the tool which you can able to connect with a Scott. So like you can able to connect with a Scott. Like if you want to ask questions related to the Microsoft Azure because he was part of a Microsoft core team. So if you want to connect with a Scott and ask the questions, then you can able to use a program called Azure Fridays. That link also is pasted on the chat window. And Microsoft is having a online channel similar like your YouTube that is called Channel 9. So this is giving a lot of information about Microsoft events or shows, or it's been like already Microsoft has released a couple of informational videos on this portal. And so you can connect to the Channel 9. So this will give you a, it's a giving a a wealth of information related to the Microsoft product. So you can connect to the channel 9. So you can able to see there is a lot of even you'll be able to set it. So this will be able to help you like whether you are a professional or you started your series on a Microsoft Azure. So there is a lot of uploaded videos and events information you will be able to get it from the channel 9 one. So whatever links right now I'm pasting on the chat, request everyone to bookmark it. That may be help you for doing further studies on the Microsoft products. Now that's about the Microsoft Core one. Now this is the another link you can follow that is called Microsoft Azure Block. So Microsoft Azure Block, this will give a complete information. It's been like give me current what is happening on the Microsoft. Is there any latest information or features Microsoft is been releasing? Is there any preview version is been available, or if there is any new news about Microsoft Azure products? And what is information Microsoft is generally updating in the Microsoft Azure blog page. So you can bookmark this page also. So this is the link you have. So like you can just go to Microsoft Azure blog. So this will give you the latest information, what's happening on the Microsoft, because day before yesterday, Microsoft is released some feature on the Microsoft SSD. So for like you can able to see the like Microsoft Premium SSD V2 disk storage preview. There is a new feature Microsoft has been released. So like this way, Microsoft has been keep on updating the latest information on the Microsoft product. So this is the product always, this is the blog or this is the website always you can follow. So this will give you keep happening on the Microsoft side or the new feature or the updates you'll be able to get it from here. Now, let me post you another link that is called Microsoft Learning Community link. So this basically can be used for knowing the latest certifications or a exam study group. So like you want to know what is the latest certification has been available from the Microsoft, because Microsoft has been releasing a new program or a new training certification for their learners. So this will give you a complete information related to the education or it's the learning part. So if there is any new certification it's been coming, or any information about, or there is if there is some curriculum is got changed, or it's been the syllabus is got changed, or if there is new module has been added, all this information you can able to track it from the Microsoft learning side. So if there is any new announcement is been coming on the certification test or exam study group, all that information you will be able to pull it from this Microsoft learning portal. So these are the couple of useful link that you can bookmark it. So that will help you for writing a certifications, or it's been knowing the latest trend on the market or latest features which is available on the Azure one. I'm just posting a break you. It's like 1 or 2 minutes. Like in case if you have any questions related to that, let's have a discussion on that. Now, if you're good, we'll move to the next portion that's called the on-premises or the traditional IT deployment model. So I'm just pausing a minute here. So in case if you have any question, you can pause that question on the chat window, or you can unmute yourself also. In case if you are good, request you to post that information also in the chat. You can just post a single word. It's been like a good. So we all will be on the same page. So if you're good with whatever content right now it's been covered, we can move to the next part. Yeah, thank you, Mohammed and Angel and Shashank. So we got some feedback. Yeah, yeah. So till now, all discussion or it's been we are covered about the certification part. Now let's move to the next topic. It's called traditional IT deployment model. So all of us joined here for understanding this. What is a cloud technology, and what is the reason behind like when we are? What is the reason behind that way we are moving to a cloud technology, right? Now, before moving to that, let's try to understand how the traditional IT deployment is been working. So we understood like the cloud is the like AWS or a Microsoft or a Google. Now let's start from the scratch rather than just going directly on configuring a Microsoft Azure or it's been like AWS or a Google or doing a integration. Let's try to understand a concept called traditional IT deployment model. Now, people are thinking like moving your infrastructure to Microsoft Cloud. Now, before moving to a cloud, let's try to understand how the existing IT infrastructure is being configured. Now, if someone is been saying like, if you want to move to a Microsoft deployment model or into the cloud, basically there are two IT infrastructure model currently it's been available in your organization. So you can just look around you. So like in your office, you may be seeing like you have a data center or you have a data room or you have some other infrastructure will be available. Now, all of us are right now, it's been thinking about moving to a cloud. Let me share my whiteboard. I hope you can see my whiteboard now. Hello. I hope you can see my whiteboard now. Yeah, thank you. So right now, the whole discussion we are doing around the cloud computing, right? It's be like we thinking about like moving your infrastructure into a cloud. I know we have a lot of questions available in your hand. Like the first question maybe it's like we need to know what is the definition for a cloud. Is it's been similar like your rain cloud, where this has been hosted, how the security has been provided. If I'm a user, I'm connected from a Philippines or India, how do I connect to this cloud? I know you may be having a n number of questions right now. It's been available handy with you. But now before moving into understanding this cloud, so cloud is something like kind of a technology. With the help of that, you are moving your infrastructure. So it can be a router, or it can be a switch, or it can be a storage, or it can be a database, or X or Y resources which you're going to host in the cloud. Now, before moving to this portion, right now the all event it's been configured related to the cloud portion. Now, before moving to a cloud, let's try to understand how the IT infrastructure is been currently it's been configured in your office or your home or your organization or in the ministry, wherever you're working. Now, if you're considering that, typically, for example, like if you're working in your college, you may be seeing like there are some servers or a computer room will be available, right? Where you can able to see a number of computers or a server kind of equipments are it's been available. So typically, if you're seeing the current or the existing infrastructure model, there are two model you may be noticed. One is called as on-premises IT infrastructure. The technical term generally we are using, it's called on-premises IT infrastructure. Second one is been known as colocation infrastructure. So typically you have right now, if you're considering your office or your premises, you may be using either of this infrastructure. Either it can be on-premises IT infrastructure and you have a colocation also. We'll have a detailed discussion. What is the difference between on-prem or what is the difference between colocation? We'll have a detailed discussion. Now, right now, whole market or the business thinking about moving this IT infrastructure from on-premises to cloud. On-premises and colocation, and all the organizations are thinking about migrating, or you may be heard about a term called lift and shift. There is a technical term is coming called lift and shift. So it's been like a migration, or we are discussing a term called lift and shift. It's like moving your existing infrastructure into the cloud. Right now, the infrastructure means that it can be a computer, it can be a server, or it can be a router, or it can be a switch, or it can be a VPN device, or it can be hardware device. So all the equipments or the resource which required for making infrastructure, you're trying to move into a cloud one. So this cloud may be hosting in Microsoft, it can be hosting in Amazon, or it can be hosting in a Google, or it can be Alibaba, or it can be IBM, or any CSP providers. So CSP, generally the term we are using is called cloud service provider. The vendor or the company who is been providing a cloud solution to you, that generally known as a cloud service provider, or the short term generally you can able to see in the books or a technical blogs, it's called CSP. It's called cloud. The technical term, you can, if you want, you can note down, it's called cloud service provider. So we learned three terms here. One is called, in the IT right now, there are two model right now it's been available. One is known as on-premises one. Second term is called colocation facility. And we heard a terminology called lift and shift. We have a detailed discussion on that. It's been like, it's called lift and shift. So um, getting an issue. I hope I'm audible to you. Is there any issue or the
No, there is no
device?
issue.
Okay. So right now the discussion was, it's around the traditional IT deployment model. So end of this session, you need to understand, right now in the customer places or organizations are using two model of traditional deployment model. That's called on-premises one. And the second one is called the colocation infrastructure. Now we heard two technical terms here. One is called lift and shift, or few books you may be heard it's called as, or it's mentioned as re-hosting. So we'll have a detailed discussion on what is lift and shift, what is the strategy we need to follow, what are the checklists we need to follow for the lift and shift. We'll have a detailed discussion when we are moving around AZ104 migration modules or a chapter. Now, right now, the discussion we are doing, it's about understanding a traditional deployment model. So if you're seeing you, let me share my screen. Give me a second. Let me go back to whiteboard. So I hope you can see my screen now. So right now the discussion was around the traditional deployment model. So we understood there are two model. Currently it's been supported on the Microsoft. One is known as a on-premises solution, or the second one is known as a colo services. Few books, it may be mentioned as a CPE. So it's called, CPE stands for customer premises equipment. So there are some Microsoft Azure blogs, or some Microsoft Azure books I've seen, like it's been mentioned as a CPE. It's called customer premises equipment. So right now there are two models it's been supported. Now let's try to have a discussion on what is the on-premises solution. Can you just post your ideas or views? Like if you're seeing like the term called on-premises solution, what's your thought on this? Can you just post it on the chat window? Let's have some discussion and debate on that. So if you're seeing like an on-premises solution, yeah. So we got an answer. It's like, it's maybe a data center. Okay. Let's get another opinions and views also. So generally saying like it's if in case if you're saying like on premise, that means a data center. So data center on your internal network, okay, it's on-site equipment, okay, it's in-house data center. Okay, so we are getting a lot of information. Yeah, so we got another answer. It's like IT infrastructure located on the customer place itself. Okay, on-site physical infrastructure. Okay, company has been purchased or rendered. Okay, it's been powered off. Okay, so the company provided its inside and the server and switching for. So whatever information you know, just paste it. Okay, you don't need to go to Google and search it. Leave it that one. Okay, so all discussion we'll do in this event. You don't need to depend on the Google. Whatever information right now you are knowing, just paste it. That's all. On premises been hosted in the organization itself. So buying on data center and equipment. So let's just waiting for others also to comment. Only 10% of the people only it's been commented. So request everyone to engage. So like, so you post your whatever know information you know about the on-premises one. It's a local network. Okay. Okay. So overall, if you're seeing all this response or it's the chat, it's been pointing to a one concept. It's been like, if you're seeing like a few people, it's been mentioned it's a data center or a data room, equipment is been purchased. Now, if you're seeing your on-premises solution, I'm agreeing with your first point. It's been posted here. This is like all equipments are available in your office itself. That means if you're having an infrastructure available in an office, it's been configured in a data center or a data room. That generally has been considered under the on-premises solution or a CPU. It's like all equipments are hosted in the customer place itself. So the first point you need to remember, in case if it is a on-premises solution, all equipment means that it can be a server or it can be a rack or it can be hardware devices or it can be a firewall devices or it can be network equipments or it can be a storage device. All the equipments are hosted or it's been available inside your premises, so you are responsible for the facility. I hope you got the point. So what are the responsibility you have? You are purchasing all the equipments, right? If one of the SQL customer is been coming and saying like, hey Santosh, I need a SQL server. So what is the first procedure generally we'll do? We'll do a purchase order. We'll purchase from a vendors like a Dell or it's been like HP or it's been like EMC or some other vendor, Cisco. We'll purchase it and we'll implement this one. So in an on-premises solution, there is a investment. It's been handled by the client. Like if I need a server, for example, like I need to enable or I need to configure a SQL, I got a requirement from my client. So in case if I need to deploy this one, I need to go and purchase this equipments. So equipment can be network solution or it can be storage solution, it can be any solution which really needed for making your infrastructure. So the amount or the capital which you are spending, generally it's been considered as a capex. It's called capital expenditure. We'll have a detailed discussion on that. Right now, you need to understand end of this session or end of the slide. In a on-premises solution, as a user or as a customer, I'm investing money or a cash for purchasing an equipment. Is that point has been clear to you? So you are responsible for purchasing equipment. That's the first point. Second point you need to remember, in case if you're purchasing this equipment, now I purchase 10 servers or purchase 10 laptop or I purchase some 10 network equipment, I need to configure it, right? I need to configure, I need to connect the cable. I need to ensure that this server or equipment is been providing a services to my cloud. Now, how will I configure? I'll be configuring this inside my facility. Like I'll be configuring this is inside my facility. So all the equipments are going to host inside your premises. Second one, what is the next point? Who is the owner for that? you are responsible or you are the owner for that equipments. Now the third point, it's been like now right now I configured 10 servers. For example, like I configured one server in India, one server is in US. Now I need to make sure that my equipments or my servers are every time it's been updated. So updating can be in a OS ways or in a software ways. Second point, there is a technology refreshment also is needed, right? Every time I need to ensure that my CPU has been upgraded, my storage has been upgraded, my firmware has been upgraded, my space is got upgraded, right? Who will be responsible for this? As a customer or as an administrator, equipments technology refreshment is being coming under scope of our work. So we are responsible for the technology refreshment, because right now I can't purchase one server. Now after 20 years I cannot go and say to the business saying that, hey, our server is old server, this performance will take only if I need to perform something, it will take 1 hour. We cannot say this to our clients, right, or customers, right? Right now just think about, right now we are thinking about, or we are using like a core i7 or a core i5 processor on your laptop. You think about like a 10 years before, what was the processor available? Intel or a Xeon, some processor or some RAM memory. So like that time, like 100 MB or a 1 GB was the highest configuration. Now, or the Pentium or the old one. Right now, have can we think like you have a laptop available with the 512 MB? Is it possible? Right now, in your laptop, right now you're attending the event. Your laptop may be having a 16 GB of RAM or a 32 GB of RAM. Can we think about a laptop with a 512 MB RAM? Not possible, right? This means like expectation is got changed, right? So this is the case in the on-premises solution also. Like in case if you're configuring any hardware or it's been like any purchasing equipment, technology refreshment is been the responsibility of ours. So you are responsible for updating or you are responsible for the technology refreshment. So that is the first point. Second point, it's been like who will be responsible for a redundancy? For example, like you configured a server. This server is been hosted with the HR application. He configured is with some students' information. One day morning, this server is been down due to some patching issue or some hardware issue. Now, how will you provide the redundancy to that? Because in a IT or it's in a uh, the more mostly this it's mostly the customers are it's been thinking about failover or availability, because the customer requirement or the expectation is got changed, because all our customers are looking at uh, availability like it's been 99 to 100 percentage, right? So the customer is thinking like we need to have the website or we need to have the server to be available always. I don't want any kind of a downtime. I'm just giving a scenario. It's like all of us are using, it's been like a facebook.com, right, or a google.com. Can you think or can you imagine like Google has been down for 1 hour, is an outage is being going on, or it's been like the Facebook is done for 1 hour. So there's a millions of users has been affected, right? So the expect, yeah, this is a kind of a disaster. So the same thing can be applied in our customer places also, because our customers also has been thinking about like we need a, always a 100 percentage uptime. We need to have a all kind of, it's been like we need to have a 100 percentage of uptime, or we need to have a availability for the uh, website, right? So you need to have a, some solution which will be providing always uptime for our users. So how this has been provided? That's been generally it's been provided with the help of a concept called redundancy and availability. Now, in case of in an on-premises solution, who will be responsible for providing this redundancy? Yeah, hot standby. There can be different technology or a terminology or a mode of operations we have for providing availability. Right now, I'm trying to emphasize or I'm trying to give you information. In case if you're using an on-premises solution, myself as a Robin or a Septo or a Sandosh or a Polo or a Kevin, who is joined this event, In case if you're responsible for an on-premises solution, or if you're an admin who configured an on-premises solution, we are responsible for redundancy. Now, how this has been possible? It can be like configuring a availability or a redundancy in a network level, or a disk level, or a OS level, or in a hardware level, or a data center level. That's up to you. But end of the day, as a administrator, we are responsible for configuring a redundancy. We are responsible for a technology refreshment. We are responsible for hosting this equipment. We are responsible for purchasing equipment also. So this kind of a solution, generally known as a CPE, or this is known as a on-premises solution. I'm just posing here. In case if you have any doubt, you can post that question on the chat window. If you're good, please mark that also. So because right now we've been connected remotely and virtually, so I need to ensure that all of us are, it's been traveling together on this cloud transformation journey, and we are on the same page. If you're good, paste that information also on the chat window. Yeah, fine. So we got, yeah. In case if you're feeling like I need to spend some time on some particular topic, let me know. Okay. So don't hesitate to ask the questions. And in case if you have any doubt, please raise your hand or post it on the chat window. I'll spend some time on that particular topic, or in case if you are not clear about some particular module. So we got few feedback. I'm ready for the next topic. Thank you, Roy. Roy has been ready for configuring Azure, right? So yeah, thank you. So on-premises solution has been right now, it's been good. Now right now we understood the data center or the equipment is being configured inside a data room or in a data center. That already you may be aware that in your office or in your organization, maybe some place or a facility has been occupied for doing this one. Now, let me move to a next concept called data center TS. Right now, we have configured data center inside your organization or office. Now, hybrid premises on hybrid. I'm coming to that point, Oxy. Possible I'll have a discussion during this uh, service or a deployment model. Possibly in that module, we'll have some discussion about the hybrid premises one, on-premises hybrid model. We'll have a discussion on that time. Okay. Now, let me move to the next option. It's called data center TS. So, one second. Okay. Now, right now we understood in an on-premises solution, a data center has been a crucial facility, or it's either it's been for hosting your data or hosting your device. Now, generally, if you're considering a data centers, all the equipments are available in organization itself. Now, for your information, based on the fault tolerance or a uptime or the service cost, data center has been classified as a different tiers. It's been TAS is nothing, it's called a ranking system. So like if someone is saying like I'm working on a tier 1 or a tier 2 or a tier 4, you will be able to understand what type of data center it's at. So based on like uh, how much uptime it's been provided, or what is the type of the uh, fault tolerance configuration it's been available, like it's been like how does the ability to handle your planned or unplanned issues, or the outages, or what is the service cost it's been configuring that data center, considering all this possibility, like the facility capability, like the potential credibility, or it's been like how the future upgrade is happening. Based on that, there is an institute available that's called Uptime Institute. So you may be seeing this, like this is the institute name. Generally, they are giving a standards for the organization. It's been like it's called Uptime Institute. Similar like your ISO. You maybe heard about like a ISO, right? It's been like it's been like a ranking system, right? Similarly, for if any organization, if it's been configured a data center or a data room, generally the uptime institute will give a rank or a number. There are different class, or it's been like levels, or the technical term generally we are using inside the data center is called tiers. So basically you will have tier 1, tier 2, or a tier 3, or a tier 4. This for your information only. Generally you are not going to get any questions on a AZ104 exam. Okay. Since I covered some on-premises one, I thought like, let me add this point also for you. It may be helpful for you. So typically, if you're considering any on-premises solution, it's been classified, or it's been given a ranking with a 4 or level. It's called tier 1, or a tier 2, or a tier 3. So Uptime Institute is the organization. Generally it's been deciding what is the type of the data center you have. So this has been considered a couple of points, like what is the uptime it's been guaranteed, what is the fault tolerance being provided, and what is the service cost you have. So based on that, it's the classification is been done. So generally I can say the factors which has been affecting, if you want, you can note down service availability and uptime guarantee. This is the one point generally it's been considered, and type of the redundancy level you have, and what type of cooling or a power infrastructure which you are using inside your data center, and the technical resource which has been available in the data center, and what is the cost you are it's been occurring for providing a service. That's called generally considered as a service cost. And it's been considering the operational sustainability, and it's been like how the data center security level is being configured. So considering all these factors, this classification is being generally done. So you can refer the Microsoft or the Uptime Institute documents for understanding more about how this classification is done. Now, let me give you a nutshell, or it's a summary of this data center. Now, if you're considering a data center one, it's called tier one. Generally, we are using as a tier one. So this data center having a single path for your providing a power and cooling solutions, and you will not have any kind of a backup solution. For example, like you have a firm or a organization or a startup firm, you are generally that will be configured with a tier one data center. So annually you will have a uptime of downtime for a 28 minute. So you'll have an unplanned downtime of 28 minutes, and it's been able to provide a uptime guaranteed around 99.67 percentage. So you'll have a uptime of a 99.67 percentage of uptime it's been providing, and you will not have any kind of a backup solution. So you will not have any kind of a solution will be available. So this is a most affordable data center. Basically this is can be used, or the typical customer for this organization will be like a small companies or a startup firm having a small requirement. For that kind of a customers, we can go for this data center. You will not have any additional backup solution for your uh, power supply or the cooling facility, or it's been the network. So typically it's been like a data center or a room configured with the equipment. You don't have any kind of additional equipment. So you will have only one UPS only for if there is any outages, and you may be having only one generator, but it's typically it's kind of a small organization. But when you are coming to two or a three or a four, you will have some additional equipments is been available. So it's been like a tier two one. It's been like you will have some extra generators will be available. You will have some chillers, or you will have some additional UPS will be available. So generally, this has been able to provide a downtime of 22 point, and it'll be getting uptime of 99.7 percentage. So in a year, you will be getting having only 22 hours of a downtime. It's called planned downtime. Now, when it is coming to tier three, so always it will have one additional equipment will be available. That's called N plus one. For example, like you have a 5 generator available. So for example, you have 4 generator available for your operation. So 4 plus 1 will be available always. So one additional resource will be available for providing a backup solution. So it can be any solution. And tier four also, it's been like where your mission critical activity has been happening. So generally you'll have addition 2N plus 1 kind of a model generally be using in a data center. Now, end of this session, you need to understand on premises is the solution you are responsible for the technology refreshment, and you are responsible for holding equipment also. Now all these equipments is been hosted inside a room or a center, that or the facility generally known as data room or a data center. Now if you're considering any data centers, there is a ranking system is been available, that's called tier 1, 2, 3, or a 4. Now if someone is saying like I'm working in a tier 4 data center, you can understand, yes, my friend is been working in a data center who can provide, or the data center can provide 99.99 percentage of uptime. So where the mission critical operation is been taking care. So in case if someone is been referring like I'm working on a tier 2 or a tier 3, or if you're seeing some document saying that this has been lift and shift of a tier 1 or a tier 2, you can understand, yes, tier 1 means that there is some additional power supply unit is been available, and this is the complexity of the infrastructure you will be able to understand. So if you want to further uh, self-study or information is needed, so do some uh, reference on the data center TSO. So this may be helpful for you, like in case you've been involved for Azure migrations, or it's been like you maybe um, assign some work for a lift and shift kind of a operation. This information will be helpful for you, because most of the time like a lift and shift document, if you're seeing most of the document, it may be mentioned like there's a tier 1 data center migration or a tier 2. So you need to understand, yes, tier 2 means that this is the type of the complexity, and this is the type of the infrastructure that has been available in the customer place. I'm just pausing here, so in case if you have any question, if you're good, let's move to the next portion called colocation one. Any question for anyone? Yes, Shashank, I'm coming to that point. It's called a colocation one. I'm coming to that point. Okay, so we'll finish this collocation and we'll conclude today's session. So um, in the first portion of the session, so we got some technical issue, but going forward, we'll ensure that the program will be hosted in this mode, in the webinar mode. Okay, now let let conclude this collocation one, and all of us can take a break for the day. So I know few people are already having a meeting, or it's been busy with your normal work. So we'll ensure that we'll finish this one in another 5 to 10 minutes. Now, when you considered a on-premises solution, end-to-end activity, or it's been like a, scope of work has been handled by us, right? So now, if you're considering a data center, power is an important factor, right? Right. So if you're taking any data center, power is an important factor. Second one, it's been like we need to ensure that you have a proper cooling facility has been available, right? Because we cannot um, um, mm, host a facility without a uh, AC or a cooling facility, right? So these are the commonly two factors generally affecting our data center. Now, when you're considering in an on-premises one, uh, connectivity or a power or a cooling or management of a device or a technology refreshment, or it's been like a redundancy, end-to-end solution is been handled by us. Now I'm giving a scenario. We are planning to expand our business into one country. For example, like I need to move my business into Canada. Like I have an e-commercial business. I'm thinking like let me start some expand my business to Canada. Now, one option is like I have many users. It's been connecting from my Canada. So I have multiple options can be used. For example, like I can host server in Philippines or India, and all the users from the Canada can connect to here. But this not be the right solution, right? Because latency may be the one of the challenging factor or the concerns which you are going to face when you are moving to in a production, right? Now, for avoiding this one, my business or the CTO told like, hey, Robin, you do one thing. You host a data center in the Canada because the number of users which is going to connect is largely audiences from the Canada region. So I decided like I'll host a data center in a Canada location. Now the challenges which I'm going to face, it's like if I need to host a data center in a Canada, for example, like I need to go for on-premises one. I need to ensure that there is a facility has been available, right? I need to take some place, either I need to purchase it or I need to rent it. Now, for avoiding this one, if you have any such kind of a scenario, you don't need to purchase or you don't need to go for purchasing a place. You can connect with a vendors or the facility provider who is been providing, who can provide power, cooling, and physical security. You don't need to worry about the rest. Okay. So these three facility or the options or the feature will be provided by the few companies. So now if you are taking a organization, there are a lot of organization is been available in the market who is been providing this kind of colocation service. For example, like you maybe heard about like a cages, like in case if you're seeing like a cages on a data center, like cage in the data center, not this sorry, this is like a bird cage. It's been kind of like a cage in data center. So data center cage. So you will be getting a space like this. It's called cages. See here. So the cage is nothing. It's a dedicated server space. It's within a floor. So the companies will be providing this kind of a cage facility. If I need to expand a uh, business into Canada, I can connect with this vendor. I can ask like how many cabinets I need or how many cages need. So they will be providing the floor, they will be providing a space like this. The same place, maybe other customers also may be connected. Okay. But this cages is like a dedicated server space with a traditional floor in the data center. And you will have a mesh walls or it's been locking door, and you will have a vendor will be providing a power and cooling infrastructure. So it will be like a data center tenant kind of model. And you will have a cabinet also will be available here. So the vendor, they will be providing a facility like this, and they will be providing option for, they will be providing an option for power also it's been provided by the vendor. They will be providing the internet or a network connectivity to the infrastructure. They will be providing the cooling facility to you. They, that's called air conditioning provided by them, and they will have enough power like a generator backup or battery backup will be available, and they will have a proper fire protection system will be available, and they will be providing 19-inch or a 23 inches of rack also. So this kind of a model, like the vendor who is been providing or it's been a facility for your hosting your equipments. The point you need to remember here, the vendor is not responsible for purchasing a hardware. Okay. So it's like the vendor has been providing only the facility. So the hardware which you are going to use, router or a switch or a server or equipment which you are going to host inside this facility is being purchased by you only. You got the point? The vendor is been responsible only for the power, cooling, and the physical security. You, the hardware or the equipments which you're going to configure inside, it's been hosted by the, or it's been purchased by us. Now when it is coming on us the vendors, there are many vendors it's been available in the market. Now right now we are seeing like a DRT. So this is the one of the vendor, right? It's been based out of Texas. It's been like almost 7.6% of the market share is been holding by the digital reality trust. It's based out of a Texas. Now global switch is the one of the other leading vendor who's been based out of UK. So this is the UK based firm. This I remember it's like 1.4 to 2% of the market is been holding by them. And Cyrus One has been one of the vendor. It's been based off Texas. This is a Texas based of organization. China Telecom has been Beijing based or the China based firm. And you have Equinix. Equinix has been California based firm. and you have a NTT communication also. NTT is been based off a Japan based company. So these are the vendors available in the market. It's been like providing this kind of a facility. Now, in case if you're going for choosing a data center, I used to consider basically 8 points. I just pasting on that 8 points. Like if I'm a, because a couple of years I've been worked as a architect. So these are the point I used to refer, like in case if you want to go for considering a data center. So these are the 8 factors which you can consider, like in case if you're designing any data center. These are the point you need to remember. This one, if you want, you can just note down in your diary. This may be useful, like in case if you have been moving to a Azure data center designing or a planning, this information may be helpful for you. I just pasted 8 common factors or a common point I used to cover, or I used to consider while designing this one. So this point may be helpful for you, like it's been like how good is this connectivity, or it's like what is the plan you have, what is the DR plan you have. So these are the couple of points generally I used to consider. Now, right now we understood in a colocation one, the vendor is been providing only the facility. So the colocation vendor or the vendor is been responsible only for providing the power one. So the equipments it's been purchased by us. Now, if I'm a user, if I need to connect, for example, like I'm a user, I'm a Robin here, I'm sitting here, and my Canada office is been provided by the vendor. So from here to this connectivity, from my office to this connectivity is being provided by the colocation one. So the capex cost for purchasing equipment still it's been available with us, and there is a one additional term, or it's been like it's been coming to picture, that is called opex cost. What is the opex cost here? Because my vendor or the colocation vendor will be charging some billing for cooling, that's called air conditioning. They will be giving an electricity bill, they will be giving a facility bill, and if there is some X or Y additional operational bill also will be available, right? So all this is being considered as a operational cost, that is generally known as OPEX, operational expenditure. What is the capex? Because in that facility you are hosting a couple of equipments. It can be a server, or it can be a rack or a router. So some hardware devices you are hosting, right? That is the investment you're doing, that is been considered as a capex. That's called initial investment, that's called considered as a capex cost. So in a colocation one, you will have some operational cost will be available. So I hope this point is been clear to you. Now, when I'm comparing this with the on-premises one, um, both the configuration or both the model, it will take some time for a deployment, because if you're considering both the model, equipment purchase is when the responsibility of a user, right? So we need to ensure that the server or the equipment is been delivered, there's a proper purchase order is been prepared, physically this is been racked up or it's been cabled, and we need to involve multiple vendors also, multiple stakeholders needs to be included, right? You may have to include SQL team, you maybe have to include the facility team, you maybe have to include the operation team, like the provisioning team. There's a multiple team involvement is needed this one. So it will take, generally it will take 1 or 2 weeks time for configuring this one. So generally all these issues or concerns will be addressed in a cloud one, because if you're seeing an on premises or a colocation one, if someone is needed some server, minimum it will take a 2 weeks of time. So this can be avoided with the help of a cloud. Within a fraction of minutes, you will be able to deploy, or you'll be able to provision servers with the help of a cloud infrastructure. Now, how to do this one? We'll be having a discussion tomorrow, like how to do a provision or how we can decommission this one. All this point will be discussed tomorrow. Now, I'm giving a self-study topics for you for today. That's called server virtualization. So you may be already aware of this technical term called virtualization. Now, before joining for tomorrow's session, please have a self-study on a type 1 and type 2 hypervisor. Because if you're considering cloud computing, the base or the base component which been available on the Microsoft or if any cloud computing, it's called server virtualization. So you'll have a server virtualization is the component or it's been the technology it's been using backend of any cloud computing, right? Because if someone is provisioning this one, it is using a technology called server virtualization. So we'll have a detailed discussion on what is a type 1 and type 2 tomorrow. But before that, find out what is the difference between type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor also. This is the uh, self-study topic for you today. And Discord link it's been pasted on the chat one. So Surag will be using the same webinar link for tomorrow, or it's like how it's been planned. So if we can communicate that, that's big well and good.
Yeah, we'll have to set up a new webinar tomorrow. We'll be sharing it in your email tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning's email should be a different email, like different link.
So for sending that email, so we need your some support and cooperation from your side also, because we'll be able to pull your email address from the Discord portal only. So make sure that you and your friends or your circle people has been registered for that. Otherwise, you will be missing all our events. So please make sure that in case if you missed for registering this one, right away itself go and register it on the Discord link. Now we are just pausing for the Q&A. So if you have any questions for today's topic, like um, we had a discussion on certification part. We started understanding the on-premises one. We understood the colocation on-premises one. So if you have any question, you can post it on the chat one. Now our platform also it's been stable, this first time we also facing this teams intermediate issue that's been sorted out now, and feedback link has been posted on that, so that you can give your valuable feedback. It's been can be positive or negative, or it's like your expectations, like you may be looking for some program uh, we want to hear you from. So based on that, we can prioritize our program. So that will enable you for your career also. So whatever programs if you're looking, you can paste it on the feedback link. So we can mention like what is the kind of program you're looking. Is it a DevOps, or it's been like a security side, or it's like AZ 900 or a 500. So whatever input you are given yesterday, that will be already taken care. So we are working on it. So we'll be announcing more advanced programs.
Everybody,
So
please make sure you give the feedback. We'll be checking the emails from it and we'll be giving the attendance certificate through those emails. So please make sure you fill it. If you filled it yesterday, you don't have to fill it again. This is the same form yesterday we have shared. So if anybody is new here or missed yesterday to fill it, so make sure you fill it.
So thank you, team. We use okay. We got any question like a PDF not will. Let me see the option for uploading this one. Like we'll convert in this presentation to PDF, and we'll try to see uploading this one once the module has been completed. So we got an so yeah, that may be some concern generally we are facing, like when we are going on a collocation, like mishandling of equipments or physical security. Sometimes these all are general concerns we used to face in operational role. Roy, we prefer to have all the you to attend the training program, then only um, we can consider for the certification one. Okay, so so attendance can be only one. That means. Yes. So for avoiding this latency, generally this is the question related to the latency one. Yes. So that generally it's been considered with the help of a concept called region in the cloud service provider, like based on the user requirement at the time of Azure designing, we'll be deciding like where you need to host your data center. So generally the concept is called region. It's called the concept called region in the cloud in the Microsoft. It's called regions. Like for example, like if I have a user on the Microsoft in that Canada region, there is no point of configuring the server in India or North Europe or in Australia or Sweden. So we can select the data center to be hosted in the Canada region. So that can be helpful for to mitigate this kind of a latency kind of issues. So based on the user, this one as a architect, we need to decide which location you need to host your data center. Yeah, Roy, it's like have a data center in the available in the colocation one also. Technically, this has been a kind of renting kind of a model only, but on like on premises that also having a data center TAs is available in the colocation one also. Who will be installing the hardware? Installation has been our responsibility only. It's been like we are responsible for hosting a server. The vendor will be only providing the data center facility only. It's our responsibility, like how you want to configure, what is the operating system to be available, what is the patching option, or the security to be configured, how the security level is needed. All it's been planned on by the us only. So it's been available on the Discord channel. It's been like all the recordings. So this is a 6 days program, Oxy. It's been like it's a 6 days program. So this week we'll have a 2 hours of a session, and the 15th week also we'll have 3 to 4 hour session also. So it's totally we'll have almost 25 to 30 hours. We'll be finishing this one. That will enable you to go and write the AZ 104 certification program, and plus AZ 900 also. So it's a combination of 900 and 104. Is there any chance to choose the what is the type of the infrastructure? Yes, it's like you will not have any option for selecting like is it a Dell or a EMC, or it's been like a NetApp server. You will have an option of the configurations, like how many, what is the configuration you want, how many core you want, how many RAM you want, what is the throughput you want, or the IO input you want. All that in can be able to select it at the time of a creation. But you will not have any option for selecting a hardware vendors on the backside. But you will have an option for selecting the configuration part. So thank you, team. I think we answered almost all the technical questions and general questions also. So thank you, team. And so morning, we can connect on the same time. And the new link will be shared through your email. So make sure that you register on the Discord one. And attendance link also it's been posted. What is the most used infrastructure on which scenario, Roy? It's like most used infrastructure. Is it on the cloud aspects, or it's been the on-premise aspects? Which on which concept only you are asking that? Will you provide all the classes on each class certificate? It will have a one common certificate only. It's been available. You will not have a separate certificate for day one or a day two or day three. So you'll have only one cloud admin certificate will be provided. If you can, Roy, if you can elaborate your question, um, we can have more discussion on that, because that's look like it's a general question. So I'm not able to uh, clear about that. Should I fill the feedback form daily? No, it's only one time. No problem, Roy. So like we can have a discussion and we can debate, and all this can be done during the sessions. Okay, this is not an issue. This kind of a technical discussion can one thing that is like instructor is giving just information. No, let's consider this as like myself and Sudag and Fatim is part of your team, and in your office we are doing some kind of a technical discussion. Consider it in that way. So both can debate, discuss, or we can argue, and we can put a lot of case studies or a scenario. End of the day, that will enable your or that will upgrade your skill set on the Azure side, rather than like Robin is been just sharing some presentation and doing one mode of interaction. No, let's consider this as a kind of event where we both are discussing each other, we are arguing or debating or discussing, coming with a lot of concerns which generally you're facing in operation. Let's bring all these points on the table. Let's have it, make the session it's a more interactive way. Or you can ask as much as question you want, no issue at all. Yeah, there is a like how to secure a cloud. Um, this point, I think I'll be moving to the bucket now, because this point it's been covering related to network security part. So we have one or two modules it's been covering on the security aspects. Generally, this has been configured as a defense in depth mode. So there you can able to configure different layers of a security, which starting from role-based control to the network security called IAM model. There are different model of mm, security option layers we are generally known as defense in depth. There is a different 7 layers of security option generally we are using the cloud, like a network security group, or also like VPN, firewall, and IAM model, role-based control. There are different options or features supported on Azure. So we'll have a different session or a different discussion will be around that topic. I'm moving that question to the bucket now. So in case if I'm not covering that one, please make sure that you are reminding me on the possible on the network sessions or the last day of the event. So we'll have it's already planned. In case if I miss that, let me know. Can we connect to a LinkedIn? We can follow. We can connect through a Discord channel. That is a option generally we are following. So thank you, team, and mm, we are on time today, and we'll connect you tomorrow. So make sure that you register in the Discord link, and you'll be getting a meeting link for the tomorrow session. So thank you, team, once again. So happy Tuesday, and connect you tomorrow. Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the nice feedback. Sure. So we have planned a lot of sessions on advanced topic also. So please follow us. So thank you, everyone. Happy Tuesday once again, and talk to you tomorrow.